FinTech products can motivate people to make better decisions by nudging their decision making. And let me give you some quick examples here. I think example one, very important example, is the default choice. Make the preferred option the default choice. It has a huge influence on customer behavior. So for example, if you want people to save, then simply make saving a part of their income. For example, make saving the default option in the product, where the user needs to actively opt out if they prefer a different solution. A second example is framing. Also, very important for product designers. Framing is about how you present a piece of information. It's not the content, it's not the sheer data, the sheer information, but it's how you present it, how you frame it, and that will influence the consequent choices. So the example refers to the fact that people are much more sensitive to losses, to perceived losses, than to perceived gains. And you can easily think about two products that differ in one important aspect. Product one rewards each time the user does something that's desirable. Product two also gives rewards, but it provides a very large reward in the beginning and then actually takes away something from the user each time the user does something that's not desirable. So you arrive at exactly the same overall result. You give the same, ultimately you provide the same reward to the user, but the second product will have a much larger influence on the user. And why is that so? Because the second product involves and makes active use of the subjective perception and the subjective experience of loss on the side of the user. Another example of how to influence user behavior, FinTech products, is about peer comparisons. Show the user how they compare to peers. That's highly motivating for the user. Why? Because it turns decision making into a social activity. If you do sports in a group or if in a gym surrounded by others, it makes you run longer, it makes you exercise harder. Finance is very personal, and people want to protect their privacy around their finances. You can allow peer comparisons on a collective level, where the user compares themselves to a peer group, so where it's anonymized, where you see how you compare to everybody who has your background, everybody who shares other aspects that are. So it doesn't necessarily need to happen on an individual level. I think the maybe by far more interesting for financial products, the far more interesting level is where you compare yourself to a relevant peer group. And then finally, fourth example, goal setting. Allow users to set their own goals and make sure that they can set goals that are personally meaningful, that are measurable, and that are challenging. Not too difficult, not too easy. They should be perceived as challenging by the user. And then provide feedback, how far they are in the process of reaching their goal and how they compare to the steps that they set out for themselves.